What's up, everybody? Finally got the bike in. We finally got it. 7.5 months I had to wait. I spent the last week and a half working on it, getting it ready for our trip to Alaska. My neighbor and I are leaving June for a 6-week trip to Prudhoe Bay and ending at Sturgis. First year I'll be riding a German bike, a BMW, to the rally, but who cares? It'll be fun. I love this bike. This bike is amazing. It's more than I thought it would ever be. So I just thought I would take it out and show you guys what I've done to it and some of the things I've equipped to make this trip a little bit better. So let's get to it. All right, we'll start up here on the dash. First of all, I went with bark busters. I wanted to get rid of the plastic. I don't know, they seem kind of crappy that came with the BMW, so I put these on. They're a little bit sturdier. I put the grip puppies on. Takes a lot of that that vibration out of the bike as you ride. I also went with these Wild Heart levers, as the Germans would say, levers, because you can activate them with 2 fingers while still holding onto the bike, which if you ride, a lot of times you're riding like that anyway, where you have 2 fingers on and kind of holding on. For those that don't know a lot about bikes, this bike's got cruise control, of course. It's got on the fly, you can adjust the suspension and the ride. This is what they call the whizzy wheel, the wonder wheel. Horn button, got the spotlight there. I put on a full dash cam. So it's front and rear, it's 4K. It's made by Innov, it's the K5. And so far it works flawlessly, so I'm pretty impressed with it. Here is a switch I installed for my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde exhaust. I'll show you that later, give me an idea how that works. Went with the quad lock for my phone. It's wireless charging. I went with the Garmin. So with the Garmin, they make a here, let me get out the key and show you. All right, so you just put the key in and that unlocks this little back here. And then you just pop you can unlock your GPS. So that is a 3DM. It's a guy in Italy makes it to mount into the BMW cradle. This is a factory cradle. And this 3DM here is the cradle that you use for a Garmin. And then see if I can do this while I'm on. You just set your GPS in there and that click locks in. You lock that back there and take your key out. And it's secure. If somebody wants to steal it, they're going to steal it, but it's as secure as any other GPS would be. I went with also, I have the Valentine 1 radar detector I put on. Now this one has the Bluetooth on it, and there's an app on my phone called V1 Driver I got. I think it's $10, but it connects to this, and then it goes through my helmet. Whenever it goes off, I can hear all my alerts. It tells you how many bogeys, what band is hitting you, if they're front or rear, so you can keep your eyes on the road while having the radar let you know where the guys are sitting at, which is kind of cool. I have the Gerbing controller there. It's on Velcro, you can pull it off, but figured just leave it there. This bike came with the SOS system. So if you crash, go down, it'll automatically summon help. You can lift this and then you can cancel it or summon help automatically just by pushing that button, which is kind of cool. It's like OnStar for bikes. And of course you've got your heated button here. That's for the grips and the seat. These are your different riding modes, rain, eco. Who's going to use eco on this bike? There's nothing eco about this bike. Start, stop, of course, and then your throttle. I also went with these mirrors here because the stock mirrors I couldn't see around my shoulders. They were too short. So these extend out. They're real easy and they're adjustable. And if they break, they won't just fold in. It's no big deal there. What else do we got up here? So I went with the Hex EZCan system with this bike. It's under the seat. I daisy chained 2 of them together to power all my lights. I'm not going to turn the lights on because they just flicker with the refresh, with the frame rate and everything. But I went with Denali, and these are white here, and then I got the D7s, and those are the D4s, amber, and then the factory lights here. So I don't know, some people would say this is like a Christmas tree, but I don't run them all the time. I don't, especially at night, they're too bright. So I have just the Denali set at 10% at night, and the D4 is off until I hit high beam. Once you hit the high beam, everything's 100% full blast. It turns night into day. It's pretty bright. It's pretty, but it's, you know, it's good for riding at night. And I also put this on. This is a armor guard from a bike thing in England. It's protects it from rocks and stuff, and it's mirrored, so it's kind of cool. You know, it has a cool look, but it'll protect from rock hits and whatnot. Got this off AliExpress. I can mount my GoPro here on the trip for video. Oh, this is another. So here's my dash cam. This is the front facing of the dash cam, and it's mounted inside. I got that from a bike thing. He makes them. It's pretty cool there. I went with this massive windshield. It's almost Goldwing-esque. You know, it's huge, but I like it. Especially for 10,000 miles trip, it's gonna it keeps the wind off my head. And I added this just because it can adjust. It can go up and down, left and right, whatever you want it to do. But having the wind buffeting the top of my helmet was a little bit too much, and that puts it right over my head, which, hey, I like it. I don't need extra buffeting if I don't necessarily want it. Right here we went with the Lone Rider side bags. They have one on each side. Got the extra pockets. Probably have bear spray in one of these and a cold water in the other. And all these frame protectors, they all came from AliExpress. They plug up all these extra holes and keeps crap out of there. They're pretty cheap. I went with this is the Black Dog pegs. They're a lot bigger and wider, a little bit more sturdy. They give you a lot better stance. And underneath, I replaced the belly pan with the Black Dog belly pan, and so it protects all the way to the back and up in the front quite a bit better, as well as the I put an extended fender on. And it was a little tricky because it wanted to hit that, so I had to zip tie the fender to the like the fender to the tire, and then heat it with a heat gun to reform it so it would clear. It barely clears it, but it works. It clears. So, and it keeps all the crap from getting up inside the engine there. Let's see. Next, I went with the MachineartMoto bags, 35 liters on each side. They lock on real quick and easy. You can pull them off and take them into the hotel with you. Huge beaver tail in the front. This can expand out, you know, probably to here. So you can put a bunch of extra gear and jackets or whatever you want there. Up in the back, I went with the Beaumont, as my future wife calls it, my lunch box, but it's got a little organizer up here. You can store stuff and plenty of room in there. You can almost, I think you put a full face helmet in there. What's nice is this is like hinged, so you can stop it and it'll just stay pretty much where you leave it, so it's not flying down on you. On the back, that's part of the Denali. That's a T3 light. That flashes and blinks every time you hit the brakes or use the engine brake to let people know you're stopping. Because this bright, the light on that BMW is not that bright, so that adds a lot of safety, I think. What do we got here? The Beaumont toolbox, and that just bolts on the inside of the pannier rack, kind of out of the way. Keep a bunch of stuff in there. It actually holds a lot of stuff, and that's also keyed to this, so they're keyed alike, so I don't have a bunch of extra keys. These are for the trip. I just have them on now as I'm getting used to the bike. It's but they're about 1.5 gallons each, And we're gonna need that probably on the trip, because from Coldfoot to Prudhoe Bay there's no fuel, and I don't want to risk running out with as much gear as I'm gonna have on this thing. I just don't want to risk it. No big deal to have those bolted on. I put a little plate inside and reinforced it. Here's the exhaust I went with. It's the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'll give you an idea how it works and sounds here in a minute, but there's a little servo I mounted, and then it runs right here, and it runs this cable to the exhaust. And see, it clears the tire and everything, and they give you this carbon fiber cover. It's nice, but when you hit the switch up on the dash I was showing you, this actuates a little servo, and changes that flap in there. I'll give you an idea how that works here in a little bit, but that way you have 3 different sounds. You can go loud, medium, or like basically stock. So it sounds a lot better, but on a long trip you get tired of the noisy pipes. You can turn it down and not listen to it. This bike has ESA, the adjustable suspension, dynamic ESA. So that's the thing that changes the bike up and down by, I don't know, a few inches. I mean, it can go from tippy toe or I can be flat footed, so it's quite a bit. Ride's really, really nice, so I'm really impressed with that. I got this little seat cover. You can tell it's kind of spongy, but it's supposed to help with rain. So if you're in rain, the water will go through and just kind of drain out the bottom there. Let's see, got another bag there. So here's what I did with this tank bag. Now I'm going to get a smaller tank bag. This one's way too big. I don't like, it's massive. I mean, it's way too big. So I'm going to get the size down, and this even expands. Like you can see, this expands and probably goes up to like here. So it's way too big for me. I'm gonna go with the day tripper, but what I did is I have a hub in here. Here's a cord, and then I got a USB hub made by GV, and I can charge all of my GoPro batteries on the trip. And so when you take this off, I have it wired right here, so you can pop. So when you park, it's got this little, let me try to get you better. It's got this little coil, and then this just pops off, and then you can pull this little lever, or this little, see if I can do it with one hand. There, okay, so then you pull that, and that just comes off, and it's held on with this magnet tank ring, and then it just locks on. So when I get to a hotel or whatever, that unplugs and you just carry it away, and it's same thing when it goes on. Check this out. It just kind of, you set it on, let's see, and it grabs it and locks it. Let me see if I can do it. There, locked on, just like that. So that's pretty handy. You don't have to use straps or anything in it. But like I said, I got to get a smaller one. The smaller one will probably cut off like right here and go straight down. This just takes up too much space with my little belly. And besides that, I'll have this huge pack back here. So I just feel too cramped with it. But other than that, bike's got a built-in USB port here that's free, because I don't have anything on it, and I like that. I wanted to keep it like that, so I hardwired all these accessories. Here, I'll show you my EZcan system. One second here. Let's pull the seat. All right, so here's the rear seat. I mentioned, not that it matters, but I won't ever have passengers, but it has separate controls for your heated seat for the passenger, low, medium, high, off. So you pop the seat. I'll show you my mess of wires back here. See if I can pop this off with one hand. There we go. So you pop the seat, and under here, these are the EZcans. These plug into the CAN bus of the bike. So I got 1 and 2. So there's 8 circuits total between these two. I have them daisy chained together into the CAN bus, and so I have all the lights in here, and then all my accessories. So I have 4 different things that I have wired in. 2 per circuit. So I put the dash cam and the quad lock onto one, soldered them together, and they're on a circuit, protected. There's a circuit breaker in there, and it protects them, so it's all fused and safe. And then I did the radar detector and the GV plug on another one. So there's 4 things that you would have had all wired to your battery. It would have made a mess. If you've ever done wiring on bikes, you get a huge mess with all the extra wires. So this way they're all coming back here. This looks like a mess, but it's really not. It's actually compact. You take this whole panel off and there's wiring all up in here, but it's actually pretty neat, believe it or not. It could be better, but there's a lot of stuff going on back here. And then you can program these, pop that open, and you plug your laptop in, and you can set all of your lighting to how you want it, and make it flash, and then I bring that to the point here. Underneath I put the Denali sound bomb. It's up there. You can see it right there, air horn. And what it does is I have it set so when I hit the horn, the bike flashes all the lights, strobes them, so it at full blast, at full 100% lights, and so it gets the attention. I don't know, you can probably hear it. Let's see if I can. So let me see if you see it on the house. I'll blow the horn. So the way I have it set is the horn is, if you tap the horn, like if you see an Eskimo on the side of the road and you want to just say hi, you tap the horn, and up until 0.25 seconds, it'll be your OEM horn. So here's the OEM horn. And you can kind of see the lights strobing on the house. Now, if you really want to get somebody away, like you got a moose or a bear or protesters or whatever you got, then you hold it down and the air horn will kick in, and we'll do that. It's hard to tell how loud it is over the video, but here we go. And you can see in the house it's strobing the lights. So not only do you have the horn, but you also have the strobe to get people's attention. On the dash cam, also it lets you know that everything's always recording with these lights. It has GPS, Wi-Fi, and the cameras, so you know it's working. And if you have something you want to record or save, you can tap that button and it'll save 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after the moment you hit that button. So that way, if you're not like fumbling with things on the road, and you can keep your eyes on the road and save video that you think you need to save. But yeah, oh, and the other thing on this Wonder Wheel, with having the lights hooked up to the Denali CanSmart, you know, having these plugged in, you are able to use this to control the lights. So if you want to dim the white lights or turn them off completely, or whatever you want, you can hold this. See how this goes left, right, or up and down. I'm not gonna mess with it now, but you can hold it and it'll flash the lights, and you can turn them off or up or whatever you want. Same with the amber lights, you can adjust them individually. So if you hit fog and you want to shut the white lights off, you can shut the white ones off and turn the amber ones up to whatever you want, all with this in the bike system, instead of having a bunch of switches and dials added into the bike, as we don't need any more of that. So I think that's everything here. Let's go over the exhaust next. Show you this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde exhaust. Oh, and I had to put these handlebar risers on as well. They was too low for me, and these are pivoting so they can go up, back. They had like an inch, and I want to say an inch and a half, I think. So that gives me a lot more control and raises them up, and helps reduce fatigue on long rides. So I think we'll hit the exhaust next here and show you how that works. All right, on the bike, once you have the this exhaust installed, it'll start up. Normal, we'll start it here in a minute, but you would just hit this button, and it starts out with the flapper closed, as you can see. Hit the button once, and it goes wide open. So that would be Mr. Hide mode, I believe. And if you don't want it quite that loud, you hit it twice and it goes half open, and then you hit it again, it goes full closed, and then you can go, you know, full open. So it's kind of nice how you can go instantly to close or open. So now we'll start the bike and you can kind of hear what it sounds like. So I think that it is wide open now. Let's see, we'll adjust it. Yeah, so that was wide open. So this is the quietest mode here. Then you go 2 presses to go middle of the road, which they call dynamic. That's called dynamic mode. And then we go to full open. Oh wait. There, that's full open. And then just to make sure, let's see. Yeah, so that's middle, that should be middle of the road. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, because on a long trip you don't have to have the loud exhaust the whole time. You can quiet it up. There, that should be stock mode. Still sounds better than stock, I think, but that's the quietest. Well, thanks for hanging out. I'll have more videos coming soon with Brandon's bike. He's got a Pan America, and we're going to be getting that equipped for the trip. We're about 4 months out from leaving. I've got some gear coming that we can do some reviews on, show you what I chose for gear. I think Brandon has the same stuff I got, and we can go over that. Here's the helmet also, if you're curious on the helmet I have. I went with the Schuberth C5. It's charging right now. I just got off a ride. 37 degrees out today, but that's the SC2 system for the comms, and then you have your remote there. This is a super quiet helmet. It's got speakers inside, the mic's there, and you can close. What's cool about this helmet is it's got memory, so wherever you set that and then you open it, and it will go back to where you left it. So you can have that there, go up, close, and it stays where you leave it. It's got pretty good vents. It's got the pin lock in there. It's like puts a barrier, like almost like a dual pane window. It's a little dirty, but yeah, this is a great helmet. This is makes it. Oh, it also has. See if I can show you here. It's got the drop down sun visor. So this little switch right here. Let's see if I can do it better with one hand. There's a little lever right here, and it's hard to do with one hand. Oh, you know what? I just remembered something. I don't have to do with one hand. It's got a little tripod on it. So let's see. So you can go in the sun. You can go up and down. That way you have sun. You don't have to wear sunglasses with it if you don't want. Just flip this little lever here, and it goes up and down. And of course, they call this a convertible helmet. If you don't know, I know some people don't know all this, but you can ride it with it open if you want. You can lock it there as well, and it's got the chin protector, so it quiets it down quite a bit. With this, that goes around your chin, and you can pull that out with Velcro. And all this stuff in here is removable to wash. You can pull it all out and wash it and put it away. So I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, and we will be in touch with more content and more videos as we get closer to the trip. Peace out.